It's time. You're ready. You're on Google. What am I talking about? Buying a house. So when I meet with my clients, one of the first things that I say to them is to treat me like Google, because you're going to have tons of questions, especially if it's your first time, and that's okay. And what we're going to get into during this series is the commonly Googled questions that a lot of first-time home buyers have about the process of buying a home. So let's get into it. Can you back out of it? Can you change your mind? So I think for home buyers, this is where it gets kind of confusing, because you feel like, you're just thinking about it, right? You're just like, oh, okay, I'm buying a house and I like this house. Oh, let's put in an offer. That sounds, grand. You watch it on TV and sure, you go to put in an offer. But what you have to understand is once you put in that offer and the seller accepts the offer, it becomes binding. It is a legal document. It is a legal contract between you and the seller. So can you change your mind after you sign on the dotted line saying that you want to buy the house? Yes, you can, because our contracts have built-in contingencies. And the key is that you have to do it within the time frame and the constraints, of the contract. So let's get into what that actually looks like so that you can protect your money, because you have to put up money when you're buying a house, right? Buying a house is a lot of money. So let's get into that. So one of the contingencies in the contract is a home inspection. So I always tell all of my clients to make sure to get a home inspection, because it's not like you're buying clothes from a department store, or you're buying a refrigerator from Best Buy that you can take it back and return. You can't do that with a home. You can't return the house after you've already purchased it and gone through with it and got the keys. You can't do that. So how can you change your mind during this process with the contingencies built in? And we're going to use the home inspection as an example. So if you elect to get a home inspection for your home that you're purchasing, it means that you have the right to get an inspection within a certain amount of days. Standard for Pennsylvania contracts is built in 10 days, but that can be negotiated and changed. It doesn't have to be that. So if you find that once you get the inspection, you find out that the house, has foundation issues, the roof is actively leaking, the plumbing is, not working, the sewage system is completely backed up. Whatever the home inspection discovers, if that's something that you cannot live with and the seller is not willing to make the repairs or offer you some type of credit to fix those items that you want addressed, especially major items, then at that point in the contract, you can tell the seller, you know what? I did make an offer on this home. I did love this home, but after this home inspection, I can't live with this. And that is your way out of the contract. That is a key point in the contract where you can actually change your mind. There are other points within the contract where you can also change your mind, but I don't want to get into everything. So we're just going to leave it at that. So yes, you can change your mind, and it has to be done within the time constraints of the contract. So you have, like I said, 10 days. And then after that 10 days is up and you get the home inspection, you have a certain amount of time to disclose to the seller whether or not you're moving forward or not. And at that point in time, that money that you put up initially, you get to get that money back if you are terminating the contract based off of that particular contingency. So can you change your mind? Yes, with the built-in contingencies in the contract. Can you change your mind just because? No, you can't just change your mind just because I saw the other house that came on the market. I want to put an offer on that one. You can't. Those are not valid reasons to change your mind. There are no emotional reasons to change your mind when you're purchasing a home. It has to be a valid contractual reason. And as your realtor, I always make sure I explain what those are when you're going through the process. So that's it. That's one of the most commonly Googled questions. Can you change your mind? What else do we have? Let's get into it.